Hello.
Hello.
Hello, Carl.
All right.
You're right.
How's it going? Yeah.
Yeah, it's going all right.
Like Frank and Liza.
This actress, Jessica Chastain, who is going to be huge in a year, I think everyone will know her name, and I was at the premiere last night of her film, and I said, when you come in tomorrow, you'll meet Ricky Gervais, and she started screaming, going, I saw her at Madison Square Garden, I've seen all the Office and Extras, and I said, you'll also meet Carl, and she's, if anything, she screamed even louder.
Oh. She's just screaming all the time. What have you got her on for? God.
It might be a condition.
Yeah, she can't communicate through words, just through screams.
We've got something for it though. If you take these lithium pills, she's all right for an hour, so don't worry about it.
Well, look, Carl, you've got a following in America now.
Think of that. You see, what a lovely compliment you just passed on there from an actress who's come to this little island. She's going to be huge. She's nice, and you did. Look at you.
I wasn't dissing her. I just said if she's coming in screaming.
Language. You know when you feel when you go to some sort of zoo in a country that hasn't quite got their animal rights together, and that you see these old chimpanzees just sitting there rubbing their head, and they've got neuroses, and they're a
bit emaciated.
I know. You feel so sorry for them, and you want to like him now. That's just like him now, rubbing his head. That's comfort. That's what all simians do to comfort themselves. They just touch their head. And that what am I doing here?
So how's it going?
It's going all right, Carl. It's going all right, thank you. He is right. You look as though you've just been told you've got a week to live.
Because I've been all over the place.
Where have you been?
You name it, I've been. If you had a globe in here and you span it and popped your finger on it, I'll go, yeah, I've been there.
France?
Well, not for the series, but I've been there, yeah.
Your kitchen?
Yeah, I've done that. But, no, I've been everywhere. I've been to Alaska. I've been to Thailand. I've been to Vanuatu.
What's that?
Exactly, that's what a lot of people say. They don't know where it is. I'd never heard of it. The globe that I've got, Vanuatu, isn't even on it.
Yeah, but it's a blow-up one, isn't it?
It's not. It's a proper one. It's a proper globe that I've got, and I looked for it, because I always, I was doing, like on Wackaday, when they used to put stickers on a globe.
It's a cracking reference there. For anyone who had a job in the 80s.
Timmy Mallet, he had like a map, didn't he, and he'd say, hey.
I love the fact that your geographical knowledge, up till now, was based on Timmy Mallet's Wackaday.
All right, well, I've been to there. I've been to New Zealand. I've been to Australia. I've been to Japan. Just got back from Japan about 3 days ago.
Let's explain what an Idiot Abroad is. So this is where Ricky, yourself and Stephen Merchant send him to places he doesn't really want to go to.
Well, he does want to go to, because we drew up a list.
I've got a list.
We sort of found the top 100 sort of people's bucket list, things to do before they die.
That's the list that I work from.
I'm being passed the list now by Carl.
Right, and they're
before you die.
They recur. They're the 100 most popular things that we could find. We compiled that, and we let him choose 7. That's not to say there weren't little surprises along the way.
Why do you pick old ones? Like in the first episode, you go to a remote island on the other side of the planet. Look at number 65 is Skinny Dip at Midnight.
He doesn't go nude.
I don't do nude.
Oh, right, okay.
Don't like doing nude. Would you be happy being nude?
No, but you could knock that off, couldn't you, in 10 minutes?
Knock what off?
I like the fact that how he says nude. N-O-O-D.
No, I'm not happy with that. I know, like... would you go nude on the telly?
No.
I think there's something wrong with people when they do that. I don't think... I'm not happy doing that around the house. Just walking around with out on.
You can understand why an actor would have to do it for a part.
I don't actually.
What about if the part...
We know what's there. What are they showing us? Why does that happen? It's not great acting, taking your pants off. I don't understand why they have to do it. And it just makes it awkward when you're watching it with your mum and dad.
No, but sometimes it is necessary because it would ruin the piece.
Like what? Tell me a film where you've gone, I'm glad he got his tackle out.
Well,
no, but when you're showing something, it could be a form of degradation or something.
Someone going into prison sometimes have an important scene where they're strip searched and they have to take their clothes off, and that might be integral to the plot, so therefore you have to see it.
But you just do it, you do it. They did... Look, you've watched Jesus of Nazareth.
Yeah.
With Mary had a baby.
I don't know what this is. Is this a Boney M song? What are you talking about?
What I'm saying to you is, you take things as given. If someone's pregnant, you don't need to see it happening. Too much sex on the telly.
No, so I agree. I think 95% of it is gratuitous.
Right, and that's what I just was saying.
But we're not talking about. We're talking about when it can be justified. Sometimes it would be worse not to. It'd be better not to have anything than have a pair of pants on something.
What about if you're going to stay with some tribe, and they will consider it enormous disrespect for you not to strip off.
Then that happened, didn't it? That happened in this first episode.
Well, in context, that would then be acceptable, wouldn't it? That would be the right thing to do, because it would be disrespectful not to do it. It's not gratuitous.
No, it's all about societal pressure as well.
Yeah, but at the same time, Richard, that happened, and it's not about... Ricky and Steve didn't send me to that tribe to wear a thing called a nambas. They just wanted to see me trying to get out of me getting my tackle out.
Yeah, I don't want to see his tackle. I like him struggling and feeling uncomfortable about the, the chances that you might get it. You know, I don't ever want to... I must say, I never want to see him nude.
Can you explain a nambas? It's like pants made of leaves.
Yeah.
Yeah. Or wicker. Or just anything that's lying around.
You know dolmades, that Greek dish with sort of rice wrapped in a little vine leaf?
Yeah.
We wanted his little rice.
It's ridiculous. Yeah. I would have looked ridiculous.
We're going to play a clip from the first episode in a moment. Just to cover, first of all, at the very beginning of the episode, Ricky, Carl doesn't quite understand the premise of 100 Things to Do Before You Die, because he says, well, I don't want to swim with dolphins if I've only got, a
few minutes. Yeah, he thought it was immediately before you die. Like someone's really sick and ill on life support and you chuck them in a pond.
All right, well, that's saying then. That's saying live every day as if it's your last, like Ronan Keating sang about.
Yeah.
I don't think I'd be up for doing much if it was my last day.
No,
I'd stay in.
No, again, the point of that phrase is that you don't know it's your last. So, because we don't know it's our last,
But you can't live like that either, because what do you do when you've got bills to pay and you go, I've spent all that, I thought it was going to be the last day. It's a ridiculous thing to live by.
But that's all part of it, isn't it?
Pension, you get a pension. I don't know how long I'm going to be around.
Yeah, it doesn't mean go and get a credit card and live it up and hope you die tonight so you don't have to pay it back. It means every moment is precious. Our life is finite, so live every day like it's your last. Live every moment, savour every good meal, every fine wine, every nice experience, because it might be your last.
Carl, if it actually was your last day, and you knew it was your last day, what would you do?
Well, that's different.
What would you do with it?
That's very different.
I'd probably just, God. Well, I'll be at the doctor's.
Yeah.
Well, not if there's no point, no.
Alright, I wouldn't do that.
What would you do?
Just stay in, just watch a film. Watch something. I think I'd hope it was a miserable day. I wouldn't want it to be sunny. I've thought about that. If I was dying, I'd want it to be horrible and miserable outside. So I'm not going to miss it.
Yeah.
I'm not bothered. Really not bothered. Probably eat something that's not that nice.
Brilliant.
That thing of your Last Supper thing, when they do that on the on death row.
Is there anything more depressing than that? Is there anything sadder and more depressing of someone choosing their last meal? I mean, let's not get into the humanity of it, because it's pretty disgusting anyway. But the fact that they make sure you haven't got flu before they execute you.
Well, the fact they use new syringes. I don't get that.
Yeah.
Use used ones.
Yeah.
What does it matter?
Yeah, good point.
That is a good point.
Brilliant.
That is a good point. I don't suppose you'd have much of
more highbrow discussion on 5 Live.
It is. I don't suppose you'd have much of an appetite for your last day anyway, or you're on death row. Let me just play a clip when you were on last time, because you'd done the first series, An Idiot Abroad, which was going to the 7 Wonders of the World, and you were so adamant, so adamant that you wouldn't do a second series.
I don't know what I want to do at the moment.
But you're definitely ruling out doing another series of An Idiot Abroad.
Yeah, that's happened.
Way.
No way.
No. What about if it rates really well?
Doesn't matter. Remember, I didn't know what it was going to be like. I thought it was going to be a bit more like a holiday. I now know what it's like. And if you do a second series or something, it's got to get madder, hasn't it? Look at Jack Bauer, 24. It was believable at first, and it just starts getting mad.
It was not believable.
Well, more believable in series 1 than it was as it went on. That's what I don't want to do. What's wrong with just doing something once? Right.
Carl, what happened?
Well, I've got bills to pay, haven't I? I've got bills to pay. So,
it took me 6 months, didn't it? Gentle persuasion every time we sort of went out for a drink or went for a meal.
Well, it was meant to be the Natural Wonders. There was talk of that. I'm going, I'm not doing it. And then they said, the bucket list idea, you can come up with what you want to do. And, I thought, well, I'm deciding. So I'll do it. Plus, I was in a programme called Idiot Abroad. Options aren't flying in work-wise, Richard, when you've got that on your CV.
When the idiot it refers to you, and you become known as an idiot.
But mainly money. That's why does anyone do anything? Yeah, well, Attenborough messing about in the jungle at his age. He doesn't want to be in there, neck high in mud. He's doing it because it's a job, isn't it? Why are you sat here?
Well, that's not true, is it? Because you could do something else, so it has to be a passion as well. You enjoy, you know...
I don't know about that. I think most of us, you can't always pick what you want to do. You do it because money.
Oh, but you're proud of the show, though, aren't you?
But you are picking.
I'm happy with it now. It's over. I think it looks brilliant. You said to me before. You said, "Oh, you watched the first episode. It looks amazing.
It looks beautiful."
What do you say to those people that think you're whinging? You've been all around the world. You're getting well paid. You're on Sky. You know, people are interested in what you say. You've written books. You know, you're under the wing of Ricky Gervais. I mean.
Yeah, well, that's why it's happened. You made it happen.
Yeah, but what do you say to those people that think you're whinging and that think you should be grateful?
Shut up. Because they don't know, do they? They don't know what it's like. Everyone just sees this 45 minutes of telly. They don't know what I've been through, where I've stayed. I'm not even moaning about it anymore. It's just because people don't listen.
Ricky, do you remember a couple of times ago when you were in and we rang Karl and he was at home and you were grouting, I think.
I was grouting,
You were grouting.
Yeah.
How did that go?
It's alright, yeah.
Yeah, good.
Broke the vac doing it.
What do you mean?
Because when you're grouting, it all comes out. I had a what's it in a Dremel. That's what I told you about.
Yeah, Dremel, yeah.
And it was going everywhere, dust. So I used Henry the Vac at the same time to sort of catch the dust.
Yeah.
Blew it up.
Yeah.
Blew up a vac.
Yeah. You got a new vac?
Yeah, I bought a Hetty. Is it a Hetty?
I have no idea.
The pink one.
This isn't actually going out, is it?
I think it might.
We can edit this bit out, aren't we, to make it a little bit tighter and more exciting.
Well, we will do with the podcast.
Yeah, sure.
Karl, my point was this. When I spoke to you on the phone, you said that you hadn't seen any money from Series 1, and you said, Ricky keeps talking about this pot of money. Where's the pot?
Still haven't seen it, honestly.
Have you found
Honest to God. Unless you know... I haven't seen the pot. And that's part of why I did...
I don't want to go... This is like talking about some sort of pension plan. The point is that when you own the format, it's back end, which means that they see where the profit is the whole show, the sales abroad, and that takes... It's only just... The Office, the American Office, has only just started showing the syndication rights. It's worth waiting for, Karl, but... It's going to be a while, and you've got money to go along. I don't know where you spend your money. I know last time he said, "Oh, this is unbelievable. We were out to dinner, me and Jane were out with him and Suzanne, and he was talking about Christmas, and he's moaning about money as well. And I know how much he's got, and he was going, well, she's had a floor. She's had a floor. He put a floor in the kitchen, and he was trying to make it that his girlfriend's Christmas present, that she'd had a floor." It's unbelievable.
And it's the floor she wanted.
Yes, but you walk on it.
She's not the only one that uses the floor.
It's not what you have to... You don't have to jump to the cooker.
She doesn't
it's her
know
floor.
what she wants.
She's had a floor.
She's fine.
Brilliant.
She's spoiled rotten. Everyone feels sorry for her. You know, she has got it good. Honestly, she gets what she wants. She's already talking about Christmas presents, and I sit down and go, right, what is it that you want?
She keeps saying, Karl, don't forget this year.
No, because I just want to know how much she wants something.
Yeah.
Right.
She sits down and go, what do you want? And she'll say, and I'll go, right, why do you want that?
Okay,
and I'll quiz her on it.
Let me talk about 2 Christmas presents that I know of, just 2 Christmas presents.
Yeah.
One, he gave her the camera that he got at a leaving do, still wrapped up. Said, there you go, you wanted a camera. That's one.
Really just handed it straight over to
Yes.
Okay.
Right. Why does that matter? I can top that. Something else you don't know about. Sky, after the last series, gave me an iPad.
Right.
She got that for Christmas.
But you're saying it like you're proud of this.
I'm not proud, I'm just saying there's nothing wrong with it, because she wanted one of them.
Did you tell her that it was a second-hand gift? Did you take the Sky logo off the wrapping paper?
No, I don't think I did, but it's what she wanted, so it doesn't matter where it's come from.
I think the one she's most pleased with was the bumper family pack of condoms 2 for 1 offer you got her from Boots that year. Right. There you go.
Did that actually happen?
Got used.
Let's take the travel. Ricky Gervais and Karl Pilkington.
Not with me. No, I'm joking.
20 past 2, Louise Pepper, dig us out. Go on.
The West Midlands. The M6 is in a mess as well. An earlier accident northbound between Walsall Junction 10 and the M54 at 10.
Gervais and Karl Pilkington are here at the moment. We'll talk about Life's Too Short a bit later, Ricky.
Sure.
Karl's got to go at 1:30. What are you going out to do? Was it like your boiler broken?
No, just things to do. Okay. I don't like sitting around outstaying me welcome.
You wouldn't be. But we'll talk about Life's Too Short.
Karl, what do you say to those people who say that it's all planned and scripted, An Idiot Abroad? What do you say to those people? You've spoken to the people that say that you're whinger. You said shut up. What do you say to the people that think that?
I'm not bothered anymore. I'm not bothered.
A lot of people do think that. A lot of people think that what you do is an act, don't they?
Forget it. Whatever they want to think. Because what can you do when people are like that? One, I don't understand why they think it is sort of a scripted thing. I don't know why they think I'm an idiot. That's the first one, because I'm not an idiot. You wouldn't say that, would you?
No, you're not. Of course you're not an idiot.
Right. So we can agree on that.
You say funny things because you have a different outlook on the world. Karl's one of the smartest people I know. He's not the most educated, and so he's got gaps in his knowledge, and that's what's funny. He's also very opinionated, and he's different, right? But there's no way he's honestly one of the sharpest people I know. And also, we put him in that situation to get the best out of him. I know exactly how to get this funny Karl out. He's not like all the time. When we go out for a drink, I'm not making him do stuff.
Well,
I'm not, wow.
What were you doing the other night? Tying a napkin around my head?
That was an experiment. That was an experiment because I wanted to show him the tourniquet. How if you tie it and then put a simple lever in it and turn it, you can get so much pressure. And you nearly burst, didn't you? Your head nearly burst.
Yeah.
So, and you learned something. It's sort of like Blue Peter. I don't want to bring up Blue Peter again. Those days are gone.
They're a long time ago.
Yeah.
Too soon for those jokes.
Yeah, but you know, I feel that I love this 10-year experience I've had with sort of educating Karl, not in a patronising way. Yeah, it's fascinating. It's fascinating. He's also my best mate. I can't get enough of him. We are mates. We do this, and he knows why I do this, and but it doesn't mean he doesn't still get angry and annoyed when he's stitched up somewhere on a shelf on a Trans-Siberian Railway and thought he was in first class, and I changed the ticket to third at the last minute. You know, so there's still fun things, but you do it like mates do it.
I think some of the things you say are really wise sometimes, but then
I agree.
But at the same time, some of the stories you tell do seem fanciful. So
he's having a go now.
No, I'm not having a go. I'm not saying they're not true. It's just that they seem implausible. But I don't think you're a liar. I don't think you even have the capacity to lie. But there's that story. This might be from your old XFM podcast where did a mate of yours or a neighbour keep a horse in the house?
Look,
what?
Yeah, but hang on. I've just got back from Africa where someone's got a hippo in the house. Do you don't believe me? What do you want? What can I do? It's not my house. It wasn't my horse. I'm just telling you.
Where was this? In Manchester?
Yeah, on the estate.
Someone that kept a horse in the house.
Horse in the house, but you know they didn't have much. They didn't have that much money. They couldn't afford a stable, so it's in the house. Kids on estates get spoilt sometimes more than people with money. So they'd spoilt the kid and got it a horse, but nowhere to keep it.
Exactly.
So it was in the house. No carpet in the house. Massive telly. They always have big tellies, don't they, in these houses when they got them out.
The horse like Coronation Street.
It was just that wandering around. I went round because I was flogging
dead horse?
Plants in pots, raising money for me. And there was a horse in the lounge.
Was it sitting on the couch?
It was just wandering around.
Did it go, hello, can I help you?
But that isn't that unbelievable, Richard. I mean,
no, it's weird. It is strange.
It is weird.
Yeah, but then there's this weird thing, you know, that there are weird things on estates, you know, and also people have heard the podcast, which is, you know, like 40 hours of Karl talking about his childhood, but he's got, you know, 35 years to tell. I mean, if it happened every day, those weird things, but, you know, they're sort of condensed, and we've sent him to places where there are these strange customs to us. And there's no better man to do it. Could I just say in defence of Idiot Abroad as well?
Yeah.
It's not a comedy show. It's planned behind Karl's back, but everything Karl says is the first thing that he thinks. There's no filter with Karl, and I think it's a really interesting and, dare I say it, quite important documentary.
It's beautifully made. I think in terms of comparing the first to the second series, I think it's moved up, hasn't it?
Good, isn't it?
Some of the photography is as good as your Attenborough shows, I think.
Yeah, definitely.
You look as though you're enjoying it more than the first series. I've only seen one episode so far.
Well, it's over now, isn't it? And I've done it. I've been everywhere. There can't be any more. So now I can enjoy it. It's... What have I got to worry about?
But you had some good times on screen this time, didn't you?
Yeah, I sort of... I don't know, I think I tried to enjoy it more. Last time I moaned a lot and I was trying to get out of it and try to come home. This time I was like, I know this is how it's going to be. Stop moaning, get on with it. And I tried to enjoy my moments.
Let's play a clip here. You don't enjoy this bit. This is you from episode 1 of An Idiot Abroad, series 2, when you attempt, or nearly attempt, a bungee jump.
We could have gone straight to the desert island, but instead we've come all the way here for a pointless occasion, because it's not going to happen. I said I'm not bungee jumping. When we talked about the whole bucket list thing and Steve was going, oh yeah, bungee jumping, that's what people want to do. They might, but I don't. And this is meant to be my bucket list. I've been on the world now for 38 years. I don't need to introduce this now. Oh. I'm just creating a new problem if I do get into bungee jumping. I don't want to change. I don't want to get into this.
Carl, let it go. Look up. Bring that chin up. Focus on that mountain.
Nah, forget it.
Yes.
No.
And you're going to die down.
Nah, I don't want
now,
it.
Carl.
No.
Honestly.
So what was that noise? I just made a noise I've never heard come from me. There's that noise again.
You're going to go.
No.
Yes, you are.
No.
You have got it, mate.
No.
It's all yours. Looking up.
Nah, forget it.
Carl, come on, Carl.
Come on. No, this is cute. I don't want to do it.
Carl,
I don't want to do it.
For anyone watching online on our cameras, which are at bbc.co.uk/5 live, you didn't appear to enjoy reliving that.
No, it took me right back. It's weird.
Looks good on radio, doesn't it? All that HD. Looks wonderful, the scenery.
Yeah,
on
you were
radio.
just saying how good it looked.
Yeah.
Like,
Here's a mank bloke talking. Oh, here he is again. Just the same. This looks just as good.
No, but that's just a small bit of it. I mean, I quite like the, meeting people and stuff around the world is quite good. 'Cause we just...
Is there any experiences that he's had that you were jealous of, that you've looked back and think, I'd like to do that, or I wish I'd done that?
Well, most of them, really, as long as I didn't have to stay in the same rooms as that I put him in. But yeah, there's some things I agree with him, in fact, I do agree with most of the things he says, that, I'd love the wildlife experience. Yeah, I'd love to do that one day. He came face to face with a mountain gorilla.
Yeah.
And, the guy out there with him said, Carl, I think we wanted an Attenborough moment. We wanted him to say something profound. And, Carl came up with, they've got little ears. It's good, isn't it?
No, have you ever had to do any presenting like that when you've got to sell an important moment? You did Obama coming to in charge, didn't you?
Yeah, I did, yeah.
Just imagine if you'd have been the first bloke out on the moon. They've written you a little thing.
But he had loads of time, didn't he? Armstrong, he was sat in a rocket for hours.
Okay, you've just done it. You've just stepped out on the moon. What's the first thing?
No, but what I'm saying to you is, he was sat in that rocket doing nothing for ages.
Right.
He was doing a crossword or something, I read. They
Really?
came up with a pen that works in space or something, didn't they?
Yeah, I think
he was doing all that.
A pencil.
Well, no,
No,
exactly.
Russia did that. Russia did the pencil.
That's right. America spent like $100,000 on getting a pen that works space, and Russia took a pencil.
Whereas when I was sort of trekking for the gorillas, I walked for about 8 hours, and the guide kept saying 10 minutes, 10 minutes, all right, 15 minutes. Well, hang on a minute, how long are we walking here? And he went on for 8 hours, and then I get there.
That's because you were going too slow, so the gorilla was getting away. If you'd have gone faster, you'd have got caught up with him.
So I get there, and the bloke with the camera's going, right, quick, say something. Look at the camera, say something. This is the moment, it's going to keep moving. So even though I was there, I couldn't enjoy the moment. They're all looking at the gorilla behind me. I've got to come up with something, looking at a camera, about this special moment. And it wasn't a special moment. My feet were wet. I ate wet socks.
But where is Neil Armstrong at ages in the rocket?
I didn't.
You had 8 hours.
No,
Yeah.
because it's tricky, Richard. It was
after,
up and down.
after you'd pointed out they got little ears, what was your profound statement? Do you remember?
I think I said I say it best when I say nothing at all. So just film that.
He quoted Ronan Keating. He quoted Ronan Keating
because
after meeting a silverback mountain gorilla.
Right, what would
in
you
the
have said
wild.
then? Come on. What would you have said? That hasn't been said already.
I'd have said,
I'd
have said life is a roller coaster.
Carl, you're not outside, you're welcome. Do you want to say just like 5 more minutes
10
after
minutes.
these?
Yeah.
Okay.
Right.
Great.
10 more minutes.
Karl
15.
Pilkington's here. 85. Put your own questions to Carl. 85058. It's 2:32. Here's Justine Green. Thank you very much, Bob. But Carl, you look like you're in constant pain.
No, I'm just. I am still jet lagged.
Are you okay? There's a text here that Ricky Gervais and Karl Pilkington are here. And when is An Idiot Abroad 2 on? When did it start, Ricky?
Friday.
Starts on Friday.
Tomorrow, 9 o'clock.
And there's a
Tricky,
book out from Series 1.
Yeah, that's
Still number one.
It's doing all right. That.
Mental. I mean, I told him that. I told him the sales, the DVD. I mean, the book and the DVD was sold about 1 million, right? Nothing. I tell him these people that, you know, like you, these people that I talk to at the Golden Globes and these award shows, they're not impressed with it. The only thing he's impressed with
is being paid. That is all I want, Richard. That is all I do this for. Like,
there's
the one thing. I love it when I get a cheque in the post.
Yeah.
You're never there to witness that.
No, you don't. You moan about it, because you say, oh, I've got to pay tax and that, I've got to do this, that,
Yeah, well, everyone else sticks their hand out, doesn't
exactly.
But that is why...
But the one thing, I'm just working on the third series, the Ricky Gervais Show, the animation.
Yeah.
We're just finishing it. And I showed him the finished first episode, and he loves that. He watches those over and over again. He loves watching himself as a cartoon.
Why?
Because it's not him. It's not like him. It's like they've added to it, and it's things we said. You can watch it like it's not... I watch it like it's not us three.
Well, I forgot a lot of things we talked about.
Yeah, exactly, yeah. And they've got better and better. The third series is better than the first two, and it got better and better. But I really love those. I think it's a lovely little gem, isn't it?
Carl, how do you feel about getting recognised? The fame aspect of it. Do you like that?
No, not really.
Why not?
Because I'm not that sort of person, really. I just like keeping myself to myself.
Does it happen a lot now?
Yeah, not. I mean, I don't go out. I don't put myself in situations where there's loads and loads of people. I wouldn't go to, say, a Glastonbury or something like that, just because I don't want to come across miserable.
No, I never really cared for it. I mean, I knew going into it that if, you know, became a successful actor or comedian, you'd become a famous one, but I was always wary. I didn't want people to think I'd signed with the devil, you know, make me famous and you can go through my bins. I never signed that contract. And you've got to be careful what you say as well, because people think you're ungrateful. It's like, I did an interview recently and they said about, oh, do people bother you? And I went, no, everyone's really nice. I said, I have to avoid pubs. Sometimes a drunk could come and say, oh, have a drink with us, and you have to go, oh, I'd rather not. And they think, oh, you've changed. And I go, no, I haven't. I never used to drink with strangers. But the headline was, I'm too famous for pubs.
I saw that.
So
it said you hadn't been in a single pub in 10 years.
Well, it makes me look like I'm complaining, or I've started the conversation. Like, I've gone into a room full of journalists and said, listen up, I'm too famous for pubs. I love pubs. It's like, and Carl's very aware of this. There are some, and there are a small percentage, that are out to twist your words and make you look like you've changed. They build you up and you want to bet. And I think Carl's very aware of that, and he hasn't. He hasn't changed a bit. In fact, he's got slightly more Carl. The more I've known him,
I like, you know, it's great if people come up and they just go, oh, I like your programme, I go, cheers, and they wander off.
What else do they say?
No, it's just the freakier ones where they want to know everything, or they know everything. It's like...
Where they know the podcast even better than you do.
Yeah, well, I don't like that.
But it's the ones that think they know everything and don't. I mean, the problem is that everyone's... you know, I've got a blog. Everyone's a journalist these days. Everyone's a critic. So, there's these conspiracy theories. I mean, people say things that they really think they know. I've heard that, I know for a fact that, you know,
they do.
Carl's an actor called Graham. That, you know, they work out how rich you are. And it's like, you know, but fans are fine. We couldn't do without fans. We like people that like what we like and they buy our work. Of course we do, you know. But I think you do have to draw the line of privacy because I think it's your right.
This phenomena of people making uninformed comments online is remarkable now. If you go on, one of my favourite pastimes, that might not be the right phrase, but a pastime is going on the Mail online, picking an innocuous story about a celebrity and looking at the comments.
Hatred. I love comments. I've done a few essays for the Wall Street Journal, and you know there are probably contentious issues, because some of them I suppose you'd count as controversial, particularly across Middle America. That I talk about, you know, science and atheism and those, and the comments are incredible. I mean, just
what sort of things?
Oh, just brain dead, ill-informed people like the devil's going to kill me tonight. And you want to laugh because you want to go, I don't know where to start with that. You haven't read the essay. I'm not scared of the devil because I don't think he exists. And then you go to the real hatred, the people that think, you know, abortion is wrong, even if it's the product of a paternal rape, and you want to go, I don't know where to start. I don't know where to start with this, so you have to sort of like walk away.
It's good with the Mail, because there's a bloke who's writing for that who said that I'm not an idiot, so it's great. Carry on.
Frank
Tara. What's he said I've got?
An MA. He said, you'll probably find out that Karl Pilkington has got an MA in classics.
That's brilliant.
Did he?
That's great.
But again,
Carry on.
He reared his head again. I think he reviewed the first series before anything had been made. I think because he's a travel journalist. I think the more reactionary travel writers think that who is this oik that's come along?
Didn't you send the tapes to Alan Wicker?
We did. We wanted to get a review, but he was very, very nice and said good luck. He said, I don't feel I can endorse this as it's put back Indian-British relations by 100 years.
What did he say about India, Carl?
I didn't say anything bad. It was just the time.
It was the worst place on earth.
Yeah, but do you know what? Even though I said that, I'll never forget it.
What's your definition of bad?
I'll never forget it. And is it better to have a really bad experience somewhere than one where you go, do you know, like, I've been to a lot of Gran Canaria. I couldn't tell you which is what. Whereas with India, I know I was there. There's still bits of me there. It's a tough place. If you can handle that, it's a proper test of your character. And I've got good memories of it in a way. It's an amazing.
What do you think of the people that live there? So you must think
great.
That
yeah, people were great. Nothing wrong with them.
Karl never has a go at the people or their plight or their. He says what he thinks about a situation. I mean, I think him in the Middle East was incredible. I mean, he said some amazing stuff that isn't. They don't show that side of it. They don't show. Karl was depressed about the wall, you know, and it really moved him. I had a conversation with Karl. I was on the phone for about half an hour, and he was in Africa. He just visited the slums, and he'd done this thing, and he'd helped build a hut.
Friday night comedy.
Yeah, and honestly, I don't think it'd be in the programme. It is a bit too heavy, but Karl was genuinely moved and depressed. He felt guilty that he was on telly helping someone because he didn't want to look like one of those actors who go out and do comic relief to go, look at me, look at me. I was going, no, we don't need to show it, we don't need to show it. So he's very, very, very thoughtful about these things. It's not like he's not thick-skinned. He's not an emotionless person. He's the same as anyone. He feels the same as everyone. But he sometimes thinks before he thinks. and
I've got to go to the Japanese embassy to talk about how it's a good place to go.
Yeah, they found out he was going. They want him to talk. So what are you going to say? I mean, this is to do with the fact that they're worried that people aren't going there because they think of nuclear fallout. Or
and I was worried about that. I said to you, I don't want to go, and you said it's fine.
Yeah.
But I don't know if it is.
Was it Japan where you were complaining about them not having toilet doors?
No, that's China.
You said they invented the iPod.
Yeah, he confused Japan and China. Of course he did, yeah. But now he knows the difference.
No, the argument was they built a massive, great big wall, but they can't put doors on toilets. It didn't add up to me, that. But, forget that. That was last time. I've moved on. I'm wiser. But with Japan, it's an alright place. I don't think it's radiation. There was earthquakes happening when I was there. It's the food. We've got to sort that out.
What's wrong with the food? That'd be one of the main reasons to go.
They don't cook the fish?
It's just fish all the time. For everything. And some fish that you just go, where have they got that from? You go in fishmongers and you know what fish look like. Sometimes it's like, has someone coughed that up? What is it? What is it? And they're loving it. And that is the worst thing, because at the end of the day, food's important, isn't it? When you go on holiday, you like, you know, that's why I like Italy and that, you get pasta.
Right.
Yeah.
This fish, honestly.
If you get pasta here now, I've told you can get it in Waitrose.
Yeah.
So what you're going to say at the embassy is, if you want people to go to your country, there needs to be a dramatic
just
cultural
say
shift.
You're not going to get radiation poisoning, but you could die from a fish.
Yeah.
If the chef doesn't cut it just right, you might die from eating a fish.
No one's going to go to your country unless they start serving pasta.
They've just got to open it up a little bit. Everywhere
Noodles,
you went,
they've got noodles.
I know, but they didn't seem to. There's noodles with fish in. You can't escape it. It was just a fish all the time. It's like living in an aquarium. Honestly, proper struggle with that. That's my thing. As long as I've got a comfy bed and some food, I'm happy anywhere.
Karl, I've got some good news here. This is
sounds like something from Willy Wonka in the Chocolate Factory.
This is
just him in bed eating pasta.
This is Javid in Huddersfield. He says, I've got the same experience as Karl. I worked with a family years ago who also had a horse which they kept in the kitchen. You were explaining earlier, someone near you kept a horse in the living room. Does happen.
There you go, it does happen.
Does happen.
Yeah.
Let's have a look at some more text. Dear Ricky and
Carl,
Carl,
what do you say to those people that say you're not qualified to do a travel show because...
Well, who is? Who is? I've been sent to these countries. I'm saying what I'm seeing. Why do you need to be educated on that?
I agree.
Well, it's actually not a bad point, is it? What would qualify you? Why do you have to be qualified?
Carl, what do you say to these people who say this is another example of dumbing down? Since when was it?
Right.
Since, right.
Right.
Let me
Listen,
finish. Let
we're
me
talking-
finish. I'm speaking to... Right. What do you say to these people who say it's another example of dumbing down? Since when are we meant to celebrate idiocy?
Right.
That's,
well, first of all, this isn't licensed payers' money. We're on Sky. I'm probably after a programme called Dogs with Jobs. So let's not worry about what's good and what isn't, right? So there's one point. Secondly, the other night, I was in when Made in Chelsea was on. So before they get to me, there's a lot of other programmes people can have a whinge about.
I agree.
I reckon, I know that I don't always get things right, I don't always give clear information. Sometimes I watch it back and I don't know what I'm talking about.
Sometimes you stop yourself during a sentence and you say, what was I saying?
But I think there's something in there. You said it looks nice. You can watch it with the sound down.
I think
you'll
it's
still
brilliant.
get something out of it.
It's great.
A lot of telly now, I don't know what it is anymore.
Yeah, I agree.
I don't know what is going on.
Actually, I suppose the public service element is you go to places that I wouldn't have thought of going to, and I find that I want to go to them after having seen your programme.
That is good.
That's a public service
and that's
thing,
all I'm
isn't it?
saying. I'm not saying no one should come in. I'm just saying my problems with it.
Some of the kind of tribes people that you meet, how about for Series 3, inviting some of them back to your house?
Thoughts?
I don't
Carl,
know.
what do you say to those people that say you're bordering on the racist with the things you say about other
People
cultures?
have said that, and I don't know if they can actually pick a point, if they can edit it out and send it to me and say this bit, because I don't know what they're talking about.
No, nor do I.
It's an easy thing for people to whinge about now.
I agree.
It's racist.
Some people did say that, didn't they? Was that some?
But I don't know which bit.
I thought there was one bit when he was on a coach and in China, and a lot of them were sort of just gobbing in bags and on the floor, and he found it disgusting.
That's bad, isn't it?
I would find it disgusting if
That's
anyone.
not racist.
Of course it's not. Of course it's not. But it's
And that
again,
is-
it's twisted to say that he's despising a culture.
And Richard, this isn't made up. This isn't us getting on a bus saying, right, listen, we're filming now, can everyone spit in a bag? That sound, that sort of...
We need 30 Chinese extras with little bags, okay?
Yeah, honestly, everywhere you go in China, you're just hearing that sort of clearing of throat. Everywhere you go, just... that sort of sound, which is horrible. I'm sorry. Honestly, it's like a mobile ring. You're just constantly hearing that noise. And people say, oh, did you see much of China? No, I didn't really see much of it, because I'm walking round with my head down, making sure I'm not standing in the stuff. It's everywhere. But then again, it's a very sort of grey, depressing place, so it adds a bit of colour, if anything. But anyway, that was last time. I have moved on, and I have enjoyed
But what do you say to those people that saying you don't accept cultural differences, and that maybe here it's disgusting, but in China it's acceptable, so you're the odd one out, so you should accept it and go along with it? What do you say to those people, Carl?
But then what's the programme? If I'm just going
agree.
around like a lot of these programmes do, where they stand there and they go, oh, it's
I love
absolutely
phlegm.
amazing.
Oh, isn't it lovely? Oh, they phlegm up everywhere.
I'm just saying...
That's what the holiday programme was, wasn't it? Uncritically.
Judith Chalmers going,
2 nights. And
there's a lovely bit of gob here. You can stay here for 40 quid. Don't slip on the greenies.
Honestly, I'm not just... I don't walk around moaning saying...
You do?
All right.
You do. But you say it as you see it, that's the point.
That's all it is.
I'm going to take some travel. Stay there. Stay there. I know you're keen to go, Carl, but I also want you to meet the actress Jessica Chastain who's coming as well. All right, stay there.
Awkward.
So reluctant.
It's 10 to 3, Louise Pepper, what's up? Dear Ricky and Carl, my wife and I watched Cemetery Junction last Wednesday. The standout performance for us was Carl as a bald man with sideburns and a tash.
Yeah.
Carl clearly has a gift for acting. Does he have any further roles lined up?
Well, I've offered him a role. I'm shooting a pilot, a couple of pilots actually, at the end of the year, and I've invited Carl to do a little piece there. Can't tell you about it; it's top secret. But he said yes. Cemetery Junction was a good
Can you
day.
tell us anything about it?
I will, but I just want to tell you about Cemetery Junction. We're filming that. I called Carl up. I said, Carl, do you want to be an extra for a laugh, just for the Pilky fans out there? And he went, no. I went, oh, go on, it was after. He went, no. I said, it's pork chop, catering, pork chop. He went, all right, how long will it take? I went, 20 minutes. He went, all right. So, got him a car, he came down, he had pork chops, didn't you?
Yeah.
Good, wasn't it?
Yeah.
And I'd said to the makeup people, I said, make him look as gimp as possible. So they put on this awful sort of curly wig, gave him a moustache. He looked amazing. But he was comfortable with it because he was sort of hiding behind it. And then just before we shot it, we whipped his wig off. And it was like we'd woken up a baby bird and thrown him out the nest. He was really it's actually on one of the outtakes, and it's him. I'm crying with laughter because he's looking around, everyone's looking at him, and he said, this is like a nightmare. And so we thought it was funnier with his little bald head and the moustache, and it worked, didn't it?
But what's interesting about that, Carl, is you were comfortable hiding behind a bit of a mask. You were comfortable watching yourself as a cartoon on the Ricky Gervais show. Maybe you should do some acting.
Maybe you should pop on a Nambas, because then that's like, we've dressed up your genitals as a completely different set of genitals, and so it's not your genitals in a way. What do you think of that, Carl?
Yeah, that's a good point. Good point. 5 Live. The thing is, I can't remember words.
Right.
So, like, Ricky got me to do an advert for one of his stand-up things. How long was it? 30 seconds? I can't remember. I'm not got to be an actor, you've got to have a good memory. If it was that thing where they just go make it up, I can do that.
You can't remember 30 seconds.
Well, that's what I do.
Honestly, it's really hard.
All my film roles.
Yeah.
I just make some on the day. Is that all right?
I can't do that. It's a tricky bit of.
Carl, what do you say to those people who say, because of your mental disability, that I am bullying you and exploiting you? What do you say to those people?
Carl, interesting question, Carl.
It's been asked a lot, but no one's stepping in, are they? No one's helping, are they? It's gone on for 10 years. They say what goes around comes around. When's it coming round then? When's something going to happen to him? When's someone going to squeeze his head?
What you're saying is, if people are accusing him of bullying, why aren't they actually rather
What's
than
he done about it?
What are
they doing about it?
Oh, this is bullying. All right. Well, what are you watching it for then? It's ridiculous. Of course, it's not bullying. We're friends. You know, all these people would rather whinge about it. They've all got the conspiracy theories, but what are we meant to do? We're making this. We don't care whether anyone likes these shows or not. We don't care. We'd rather they enjoyed it, of course, but we're not interested. We just say, it's not for you then. We don't care about anything.
You care that some people like it?
Well, because you get the chance to make it again. That's the only reason we care. But if anyone says, do you want to make another one, that's all that matters to us.
He doesn't want to make it. Are you going to do a third series?
No, I mean, if there's anything...
I've come up with another idea.
What is it?
It's him and Warwick Davis going round, Carl on a bike with Warwick in the basket.
That's all and that is the idea, Richard. That's as far as it goes. I said, what then? That's 10 seconds.
You don't know where the
title
bike
sequence.
Where's the bike going to go?
It'd be going around sort of like weird sort of events and festivals of England, and it'd be great. It's like two fat cooks.
Yeah, but the difference is they took it in turns to cycle and that. Warwick's legs aren't going to reach the thing. It's always going to be me cycling him about. And even though he's small, he's still heavy, you know. I've had him sat on my lap, which is an odd thing to say out loud. But Ricky sorted it out for him to come in and sit and have a chat with me once. And he's heavy for a little fella.
Why did he sit on... weren't there any chairs? Why was he sat on your lap?
There wasn't a chair for him, was there?
No, there was only 2. I only ordered 2.
Right.
Oh.
Carl, I've been looking at the list, 100 things to do before you die. 41 Meet Your Idol. Why didn't you go with that one?
Never do that, never do that.
Who's your idol?
I haven't got any.
You haven't got any?
No.
Okay. No?
No, it's best not to.
But you respect him, you like Bruce Willis, don't you?
Yeah, but that's all he is. I don't want to meet him. I just like Die Hard. Well done, Bruce. But I don't want to meet them. What do you want to meet them
No,
for?
I don't understand that. I've never understood that as what you can get out of that.
What's the best that can happen?
67, join the Mile High Club.
No. Again?
Ridiculous.
Stupid.
Yeah.
Why?
It's nothing to be proud of.
Well, I don't get it. And I don't like using the toilet on a plane for using it as a toilet because I always feel like I'm in a rush. There's always someone might be waiting outside, timing me. Do you know they know how long you've been in there? So just the idea of that is horrendous.
They're the most unpleasant of all toilets, aren't they? Jessica Chastain, hello there. Hello. That's an inelegant point at which to bring you in. Well, welcome.
Talking about toilets, Jessica Chastain.
The toilet's in. Why I use the toilet before I came in.
Yeah.
You've got sort of 5 Live pumped out everywhere you go in here. You can't escape it.
That's right.
Why doesn't it do it in the toilet?
Well, it's in the lifts, isn't it? I don't know why it doesn't do it.
You want it in the toilet, I think.
I think people would sit down too long. They wouldn't leave.
Right, thank you, Jessica.
Good point.
Yeah.
That's the best review you've ever had. Isn't it? Yeah.
I need to hear your show on the toilet.
Do you know they do that in Japan on the toilets there? There's a button you press and it sounds like you're flushing it, so you don't worry about other people hearing what you're doing.
Yeah.
So what you do? You're just constantly flushing a toilet.
Yeah, but you're not. It's a sound effect. It's a little button.
But why not a different sound effect? Why not people screaming? The sound of torture. What? You know what I mean? It's arbitrary, isn't it?
Right, it's Jessica's turn now, isn't it?
Jessica Chastain is already. You're in an enormous number of films that are coming up. You're in The Debt, which is about to be released, which is an outstanding film with a remarkable performance by. You've got to see The Debt. It's about a cell of Mossad agents in the 1960s that go Nazi hunting.
Wow.
It's amazing.
Fantastic.
And Jessica starred opposite Brad Pitt in The Tree of Life by Terrence Malick recently. And everyone on the planet will probably know your name within about a year. But meanwhile, I spoke to you last night at the premiere and you were quite excited. And that's an understatement about me and Ricky and Karl.
No.
Have you downloaded the podcast?
No. Yeah, I've actually.
This is just awkward.
No, it's really awkward. It's really embarrassing
You
now.
don't have to, I know, because
I
was just being polite last night, and now he's making a big deal.
I remember the podcast about, like, you guys talking about Brokeback Mountain, and I mean, there's really, I'm such a fan. And I saw you at Madison Square Garden.
Oh, wow.
Right.
So, it's funny.
Hang on, this is like your bucket list. You meet in an
Exactly.
idol.
I never really thought that I would meet you guys.
I think it's going too far.
Wait, but that means also I'm about to die, right? If it's a bucket list.
You're like him.
Well,
it doesn't mean
dying.
that. He thought it meant things to do immediately before you die.
It does mean that.
No, it means to do things to do in your life.
No.
Who's going to run round when they're feeling sick, jumping in dolphins and fighting Eskimos?
That's the point of a bucket
Insects
list.
on aeroplanes.
It's like, all right, I've got 6 months to live. This is what I'm going to do do before I die.
Really?
That's what a bucket list is.
There you go.
Ricky, it's 3 o'clock.
Hold on, though. Are you saying people are... no.
It's time for the news.
It's time for the news. Ricky,
Is
you've got to go. I haven't even mentioned
list.
Yeah.
Yeah, but I thought keep the bucket list things to do before you die. You've got
the bucket.
You should. Yeah, I know. No.
Carl's walking out.
Bye, everyone.
Ricky, do you want to do 5 more minutes? Talk about Life's Too Short. It's up to you. Unless you've got to go.
I'll just very quickly. Wait for that. Okay, sure.
Okay, we've got 5 minutes of news, then 5 minutes chat.
Okay. Sure.
Do you want a picture of Ricky?
Yeah, if you can.
Take it during the news. Right, Ricky Gervais is still here, and we'll
Fascinating radio.
It's like we are talking amongst ourselves. I mean, it's like they've forgotten that this is broadcasting. That is the best. I totally agree. That is the best radio.
On digital.
Ricky Gervais is still here. Jessica Chastain is with me, star of The Debt and The Tree of Life. Ricky, do you want to do some texts from people commenting on the last hour?
Oh, go on.
When Karl was here. Karl's left now. I'm laughing so much I can't breathe.
That's what Karl does to me, though. I think people don't get it, that when you're in a room with him, and I get this sort of all day, I feel so privileged. I don't know anyone like him. I just cannot get enough of him. He's the first phone call I make. He's like a backdrop to my existence. If I'm watching television and it's on Channel 5 and it's like the baby born with 2 heads, right? I call Karl and he answers the phone like this. Weird, isn't it? So now I know he's watching it. So now I'm watching it and I'm getting double whammy because I call him, what do you think of that? And he texts me. It's just, he's remarkable. He's got a different outlook on everything. Just that thing about the Mile High Club.
Yeah.
It is straight away to, I don't even like using it as a toilet. Yeah. You know, it's just got a lovely
He's got an instant perspective on it.
He's got an original and instant. He sees the world differently.
When you've listened to the podcast, Jessica, have you ever thought, some people think, oh, Karl's a bit of an act. Have you ever thought that?
This is the first time I've met him. No, I actually didn't think he was an act because he just seems so deadpan and honest and.
That's it.
Yeah.
That's it. And also, everyone's got a mate like that. They just haven't got a mate like me to get them on telly.
Dear Richard, please tell Karl I can't wait for the new series. I love the last one. I watched it. I was heavily pregnant at the time, and I laughed so much I went into labour.
Excellent.
Karl, you're a different class. At last, somebody on telly worth watching. You're witty, insightful and intelligent. I had to pull my car over. I'm laughing my head off. I want Karl as a mate, says John in Cambridgeshire.
Exactly.
And so it goes on. Ricky, let's talk about Life's Too Short, which is your new comedy that you've written with Stephen Merchant, starring Warwick Davis. What is the premise exactly?
It's a return to the fake documentary. if The Office was one of those sort of reflected those docu-soaps, those quaint docu-soaps of the 90s, where normal people sort of got 50 minutes of fame. This is brought it up to date. This is like modern documentaries where people live their life like an open wound to get another 15 minutes of fame. And Warwick Davis plays a twisted version of himself. He really was in all those films, but his career's on the slide. He's going through a messy divorce. He's got a terrible accountant, so he's got a £250,000 tax bill, and so he does this documentary.
And he runs a dwarf talent agency.
Yeah, which he does in real life. He does in real life. There's nothing funny about that. There's nothing funny about that. He does in real life. In real life, it's called Willow, which is named after his famous role. Well, we've got one fan. She's gonna be loving it. She likes the premise, let alone the. And in this one, it's called Dwarves for Hire. A little bit more on the nose. But in this one, of course, he's exploiting the other little people, and he's taking all their jobs for himself. So it's not a comedy about a guy being short. It's about.
She'd be happy with
you
that.
Just like the word short.
I'm just thinking of Willow.
Easy. See, I spent a lot of time on this. I didn't have to. I could just show pictures of dwarves.
A load of dwarf jokes.
Yeah.
Done.
Yeah.
Sold.
No, but it's about him having small man complex. She laughed at small. She laughed at the word small.
Small,
tiny,
and short.
tiny.
Okay. all right.
Have a look at his little clip. It's a short 12-second clip, and this is Warwick Davis in conversation with another dwarf.
The director's furious, he wants to fire you.
It's not my fault, I don't know the song.
You're a dwarf, how can you not know hi-ho, hi-ho?
And something about whistling.
You don't know whistle while you work?
I've never heard it before.
How is this possible?
I don't know.
What, you were just talking to Jessica about
Yes, I've just
America.
realised that in America, dwarf is a derogatory term.
Yeah. No, you're supposed to say little person.
Yeah, exactly, which we do here as well, but dwarf is okay here as long as they have dwarfism. It's a specific type of little person.
This is going on
Midget
HBO.
is out.
Midget, you
is the
cannot
M-word.
say
That
that.
is- That's
That
the
is
M
the
word.
worst thing
That's
you could
terrible.
say. Yeah.
Yeah, but and
This is going on HBO, isn't it?
yeah, well, they were concerned about it, but I think they know that it's it's set in England, and we're never using it a derogatory way. We're it's people.
But a midget is different from a dwarf.
Well, yeah, dwarfism is specific. A midget is, I think, officially. We've just said you can't say it, and we've said it about 15 times. The M word is to do with someone being under a certain height and perfectly proportions due to. I don't know. Go into
Just be clear,
Anyway,
we're not laughing at short people. We're laughing at language.
Of course we are.
like Mini-Me is a midget.
Yeah, well, I don't know. As in the show, Warwick Davis says, "I don't know what he is." he said, "I'm all for being short." He said, "But he's taking it too far." Right? No, we're not laughing. We're not in the show. We're not laughing at being short or short people.
And we're not doing that now.
Of course we're not doing it now. No, this is a grown-up show. We're not laughing on it. She was.
I was not. I was laughing at you. When your face. When you were talking about it.
It's a
This has
grown-up
done
show.
me no good at all.
I know.
The people who are already up in arms about it could be offensive. Who don't know, of course it's not offensive. Yeah, they are. People say, "Oh, is this?" They say it for two reasons. One, because it's got a little person in it. They assume it has to be cruel or nasty or laughing at his expense. Once again, like we're exploiting him, like we paid him in magic beans as opposed to him being, an executive producer. And two, I think it's because I've got this reputation as a shock comedian, which I've never been. I've seen The Office, they've seen extras, and still they think, oh, it's going to be awful and nasty and exploitative, which is not in the slightest.
Okay, just final question before you go. Are you going to do the Golden Globes
Dwarf
again?
is a funny word, though.
It is a funny word.
Because it's antiquated. So even though it's just a funny word because it's sort of been mugged and used.
By Snow White.
Exactly.
Yeah, the word is funny.
Exactly. Snow White is a fictional character, though, by the way.
Oh, right.
Yeah, that's not technically. Yeah. Carl gets a lot of his information from fairy tales, Planet of the Apes, and the Flintstones.
Have you
Just
been
like religious fundamentalists. A lot of them get a view of the world
They don't
based
get
on the Flintstones, where dinosaurs roamed with man.
Although Flintstones would technically predate the creation of the biblical Earth, wouldn't they?
How dare you?
Yes, they would. You're right.
How dare
You're very
you?
right. No, he's
Blasphemy. The Earth is 5,000 years old.
Did you...
That's scientifically proven.
It is. The science is in the Bible.
Exactly, yeah.
Did you... What more evidence do you need? Do you know... at the end of the Golden Globes, when you closed it by saying "Thank you, God, for making me an atheist,"
Yeah.
did you get a kind of? We were talking earlier about the people online on the very vicious these days. What was the reaction to that? Did you?
How dare I? How dare I mention the word?
Did you get violent threats?
Oh well, I don't know. Yeah. I doubt. I think you don't read forums, but no, of course not. No, it's a few people that think that it was disgusting and out of place. I mean, one, it was a play on words. Thanks God for making that. So I'm acknowledging the God, and why do you make me anything? Of course, right? That's the joke. But also, it was a reaction to everyone at award shows who thanks God because they won that award. Like he hasn't got better things to do. He's got earthquakes, famine. Hold on, no, I want it to go to her. Yeah, nice one. It's also saying thank you God, right? Like. He had something to do with it because you needed it. So one, you didn't deserve it, but he pulled a few strings. You know, it's ludicrous to thank God for anything. I mean, as an atheist, it's ridiculous. But even if you believe in God, it's strange that he would choose. Do you know what I mean?
Oh, well, I thought when people pray to get better exam results, I do think, well, you know, why would he pick you over someone else anyway?
And also, why are you praying? He knows what you think. He knows everything. He's all powerful.
That's true.
So it's pointless.
Are you going to do have you been offered the Globes?
No, NBC want me to do it, but they will never persuade the Hollywood Foreign Press. They hate me. I think it's because I introduced the president as saying I just helped him off the toilet and popped his teeth in. So that could be why. Also,
Jessica, do you live in Hollywood?
No.
Do you live in LA?
Yeah. Yep.
Are they sensitive to those sorts of jokes over there?
Well, you know, there is something about you know, the California peace, love,
being positive.
Smile. Yeah,
it's not that. It's because the award shows are meant to be mutual backslapping. Everyone saying how brilliant everyone else is, as long as they say how brilliant you are. And I made a decision: do I pander to the 200 most privileged people in the world in the room, or the 200 million people watching at home? Award shows are boring and pointless. They are not a spectator sport. So I tried to make it one.
Are you saying the Hollywood Press Association have blocked it? NBC said yes, and they've blocked it. They've just said no, you're not doing it.
Well, they said that at the time, and I don't think they'd be persuaded. I think they want their own little industry, and they want to celebrate, and that's fine. Okay. But I'm not the man for the job.
Ricky, thanks for coming in. Thanks for staying so long.
My pleasure.
It's always tremendous. Great.
I'm eating into your time. Give us some extra time. No, she's got to try and backpedal about laughing at.
No, it wasn't me. It was the face you were making.
Yeah.
There's a webcam there. So, thank you.
Too many people.
Nice to meet you.
Wait, so remind us when Abroad starts again? When's it start?
Tomorrow, 23rd.
Tomorrow.
Friday, 9 o'clock, Sky.
You've got to see The Debt.
I will.
Okay.
Thank you.
Thank you,
Bye-bye.
Ricky. Bye-bye.
Good afternoon to very special guests Ricky Gervais and Karl Pilkington. Round of applause for both.
Wow.
You alright?
It always happens eventually.
What?
You can come into Radio 1 really cool and trendy and happening and new, and soon you end up doing that, like a zoo format. Soon everyone eventually turns into Simon Bates.
Whoa.
When you're 40, you'll be saying things like, and that's a wicked tune there. Esme enters. She hasn't changed a bit.
Well...
Hello?
Only on Fridays.
I was confused. Hello? In the moment. No.
Is that as loud as it goes, that?
Why have you got headphones on? We don't need headphones. We're just talking. They're listening.
Do you want headphones on?
No, it's not only that. Is that health and safety?
Yeah,
Is that why
they're
really loud?
limited, yeah.
That's ridiculous. Have a listen to that.
Okay, but you know we're on air now.
Well, I wouldn't know because I can't hear it. Just talk.
Yeah, it's a bit weird, isn't it? Yeah, okay, you don't need them anyway.
I've got a special pair of non-limited ones.
Sometimes, Karl, I feel like your helper. How have you survived? It's birthday today.
39 today.
39 years old.
Happy birthday.
So very much.
He's done all right, hasn't he?
Yeah.
39.
Have you had a nice day so far?
It was that Mrs. Matthews at school said he wouldn't be a high flyer. And he is a high flyer. He's been around the world twice.
Have you had a nice day
Number
so far?
one selling book, number one DVD. New show starts tonight. Karl Pilkington. So, kids...
I've had an alright day.
Kids, if you want to muck around at school, do nothing, play out on your grifter all day, leave school at 15 with no qualifications at all, then things could happen for you. It's good advice. You're a great role model,
Did you do well at school, Greg? I can't imagine you did alright.
I did okay. I did alright. I was average. I was okay at exams.
You see, you have a go and everything, but you did alright, but what are you doing? Stephen Fry, dead brainy, he's doing a panel show. It's wasted. You've got a brain, do something with it. I'm not having a go at Stephen Fry. I'm a big admirer of Stephen Fry, but what I'm saying is, there's no difference between me and him, really, in terms of work.
Absolutely. Absolutely. No, I wasn't dissing you. I was saying, well done. I was dissing Mrs. Matthews for saying you weren't high flyer. But then I felt a little bit guilty about sending out a message to the listeners of Radio 1 that, you know,
Yeah.
you are the odd one out. You've put the work in late in life. And it's
Well, that's
brilliant.
the best time to do it. I think when you're a kid, play out, play with stuff.
Yeah. Not
Find-
matches. Or drugs.
No.
No. And floss. Floss, kids.
So, yeah.
You've done well. I mean, you are quite similar to Stephen Fry, best-selling author.
Yeah, I've done some books.
Have we got a panel show on the way?
Don't really want to be doing that.
No, next project, I want to send him round on a bicycle with Warwick Davis in a basket. It's called...
Is that for Sky One, yeah?
No, well, there's, we've had offers already.
Stephen Fry turned that one down.
Yeah, we couldn't get a basket big enough. But Warwick's not as heavy as Fry. So, yeah, it's called The Short Way Round.
Cool.
And, that'll be coming to our screens in 2012.
But yeah, it's on tonight. Idiot Abroad 2. Sky 1 HD, 9 o'clock.
Yeah. What can you say about it, Carl? Why should they watch?
It's
Friday night. It's a Friday night. Kids are out.
No, it's a bit annoying.
They're listening to Esme Denters all over the place. They don't want to...
I don't think I appeal to kids anymore. Just your lot who you've got in, I felt well out of my depth, Greg.
Really?
Honestly. Proper, like, these are proper young people.
Yeah, well, I think...
I'm 39 today. It was weird walking in. It was like Scum. No, I don't mean their Scum. I mean the film. You see, they won't even know what I mean. There was a film in the 70s
Yeah.
of a borstal.
Oh,
with,
I don't
like
know
loads of kids in it, and it was terrifying. I felt if
How
it
does that make you feel, alright?
no,
I thought you were calling my
nice
audience
enough,
scum.
but it was like, no, I don't mean that. I mean, they're like someone out of Skins. If I was walking down the street and they were on my side, I'd cross because I'd be scared. I'm getting to that age where I feel older. And Radio 1's like that. The music you play, I have no idea what you're doing.
Do you know Jason Derulo?
No. Say 3 names that you play on Radio 1, see if it, make one up and see if I know which one it is.
That's a good game.
Well,
Should we
it's
play a
like-
record now, though? Because this is definitely going out on air, isn't it? This is being broadcast, this show.
Yep.
Are you sure we shouldn't have pre-recorded this and edited it down to a soundbite?
Possibly.
Basically going, happy birthday, Carl.
Yeah.
And then...
It's on tonight.
What are you playing next? Make something up
this
or
is
don't make it
Stump
up.
by Graham Thorpant.
Yeah.
Okay. This is Jason Derulo. Do you know he's real?
I don't.
Well, he is real, yeah, but you've given that away.
Jason Derulo, Don't Want to Go Home on Radio 1. Did you enjoy that one, Carl, or not?
It was alright. It's not,
But you used to be into your dancing, didn't you?
I like a dance.
I've seen him dance. He was round my flat once, and we were all drunk, and he was moonwalking, weren't you? In his
I can
socks
do a
and...
bit of that.
Yeah.
I did sort of dancing. I joined a dancing sort of place when I was younger.
No, you didn't.
Really?
No, you didn't. You didn't. You went along, and it was shut.
I wanted to join a dancing class.
Right.
When I was younger, it was called Twiggies in Old Trafford, and I had leg warmers and everything. Was into, well, they weren't proper leg warmers. They were, my dad made them out of one of his old shirts. He just cut the arms off.
Yeah.
So I had, like, leg warmers with cuffs. And, but I can do, I'm pretty good at sort of robot stuff.
I mean, think of that. I mean, turning up
I'm trying to.
a little bald mank, right, with... It looks like he's walking on his
He
hands.
wasn't always bald.
No, I know. Early, though, wasn't it?
When I was a baby, I was. Well,
Yeah.
I was bald then.
Yeah.
Well, you
do a
weren't
bit.
doing a dance class when you were a baby.
He had hair
No, I
for
was-
about 15 years, and then it went again.
I never had good hair. Do you know, like, you've got a style? I've never had that in my life.
No, you know why? Because he said he had the hair of a Chinaman. I mean, forget the term Chinaman, which is totally outdated. For the
That's
last
what the
25
barber said. He said
Yeah.
the sort of quality of it, very fine, very sort of blowy way sort of hair. And he just said, you got hair of a Chinaman.
Nice compliment.
That's not having a go, that's a fact, isn't it? I don't know why people worry. You always, that's the problem with this programme. Everyone's always going, oh, it's a little bit racist at times. It isn't at all. There's nothing that I wouldn't say.
No, there's nothing racist in
There's nothing in it.
No, because it's your opinion. He hasn't got a malicious bone in his body. He just says the first thing that comes into his head. And I think that's why it's a really interesting documentary. Because it's not all whitewashed. It's not Judith Chalmers going around saying, this is a lovely resort. Isn't it wonderful here? Oh, look at this custom. He goes there and going, oh, God, everyone's gobbing. He hates it, right? He says what he's thinking, and we show it, warts and all, you know.
Carl, did you genuinely hate doing the first series? There must have been bits you enjoyed a bit.
Episodes 1, 2 and 3, I hated it, honestly. To the point of trying to get out of it. Then by the end of it, I got back home, was over the moon, that it was finished, and then there was something, I kind of looked at photographs and thought, I can't believe I've been there, I can't believe I've done that. Pretty lucky. And then, yeah, that's why I did the second lot, really, because I kind of thought, I hate it at the time, but I know that when it's all done, I'll be happier.
I've seen the first episode of the new series, and it is ridiculous. I mean, what can you say about it? I mean, I don't want to give it away, but...
Well, the whole thing about it is the bucket list, which is like a list that people put together of things that they want to do before they die. Ricky and Steve put a list together, which I've got a copy of here, so you can see the sort of things that I could have done. This is the list that I chose from. There's some more on the back.
It was sort of compiled by the most popular things that always come up. So they're sort of like the top 100 most popular things that most people say.
Right, so see elephants in the wild.
Exactly.
Climb Mount Everest.
Yeah.
Swim with dolphins.
Yeah.
Gamble in Las Vegas. Amazing things.
Stuff like that. And I was allowed to pick 7 of them. So I did. But there's a lot of things on there that I don't want to do, but they still cropped up. Like bungee jumping's a big deal. I didn't want to do it. I know I didn't want to do it. But when I got to, like, you know, a part of the trip, turns out they've, you know, Ricky and Steve got me still on the edge of this bungee thing. So a lot of things happened that I didn't know was coming still. But the end thing that I'm doing, that's the thing I've picked. So I've picked staying a night on a desert island. I've picked driving down Route 66, looking at a gorilla, messing about with some... It's just like different stuff, innit?
Yeah. That's a great description. It's just like different stuff. That's what we hope they put in the Radio Times. It's just like different stuff.
I'm trying to think...
What are you and Steve actually doing whilst Carl's doing? Are you actually orchestrating stuff, or are you just on the end of the phone?
There's this strange myth that goes around that it's scripted. This show is scripted. Like, Carl's an actor or a comedian. Carl doesn't know what's going to happen. Sometimes he has to, by the time he gets there, but it's planned behind his back, but it's not scripted. I mean, imagine... how could we script this? I mean, imagine just casting it. Okay, I need a little Indian fella who can wrap his knob around a stick. Okay, we got one. Okay, Carl, what are you going to say about that? It's ridiculous. These are real things that he's gone to see. He says, we stick a camera in his face, and he says the first thing...
Like anyone would, though. People sort of... I think if they sent you, you'd have stuff to say, because if you're out of your comfort zone, you say stuff.
That's the important thing. We have to put him out of his comfort zone. It's no good him doing things that are lovely and a walk in the park and him just pointing stuff out. That's boring. And we've got hundreds of those. We've had hundreds of those for years. So this is someone who's reluctant, and it's got to be a surprise. And I know how to press his buttons. You know, I've done it for 10 years now. I've had 2 big ambitions over the last 10 years. One is sort of educate Carl. I love the fact that he came to me sort of like a blank canvas, and he's so inquisitive. I think he's brilliant. I think he's got a brilliant mind. He just hasn't used it much. And the other thing is I want to get Carl famous, because I know he'll hate it.
But it's happened.
It has happened.
Hasn't it?
I told Carl, if this trend carries on, he's going to be bigger than Michael Jackson.
Can I just apologise for what Ricky just said about the chap a minute ago with the stick and everything?
What? That happened?
No,
it's just the word. It's just the word. Sorry if you're offended by that word.
Knob is Old English, and it's totally acceptable. It's not a swear word. It's not a profanity. It's not at all. It's not.
Okay. Well, anyway, if you're offended, whatever. But Carl, tonight, what's your favourite thing about this new series? Can you give out a little something that was a favourite
thing? Well, it's now that it's over. That's like my favourite thing. Because it's hard work. I mean, people sort of watch it and go, "Oh, you're really lucky. Why are you moaning? You're getting to see the world and everything." But it's proper hard work. I'm not sleeping. I'm eating geckos. I mean, there's stuff going on that isn't even recorded sometimes. You know, it's just like...
Well, we record, you know, each show, we've probably got about 20, 30 hours of footage to go through to find the best bits. And there's bits that don't get in for various reasons. You know, obviously time. We can only do like 48 minutes. But there's really interesting bits in it as well. There's one bit where Carl goes to Africa, and we send him to the slums, and he helps a guy build a hut, and he does a bit of charity work. It's sort of about charity. And Carl called me up, and he was probably depressed. I mean, I've never seen him like it. I mean, it really affected him. And I was on the phone call for about 30 minutes. That probably won't be in, because it's a comedy show.
Yeah.
You know, it's meant to be light entertainment. But there might be a bit of it. But Carl was worried that he was doing charity but on television, and so he was worried that people would think he's going, oh, look at me, like a lot of
because
comedians and actors do.
Because Steve sent me there to say, oh, this, you'll feel great after doing it, but I was only doing it because I'm being paid. It's a job.
Yeah.
And I wouldn't be out in Africa building a hut if it wasn't for this programme. So in a way, it's a false thing. So I'm sort of thinking, I come across a bit harsh, I reckon, when I'm sort of there doing it. But it's part of it is the thing of, well, I'm doing it because it's all been set up.
I can't wait for the rest of the series. I've seen the first one. It's ridiculous. I think it's got
It's
more
better, isn't it? It looks better.
I think it's better.
He has to do more stuff because the first one there was sort of a restriction because he was going to do one thing and one thing only, and we found sort of funny things along the way. But he was sort of stuck in one place, either by the pyramids or whereas here he has to shoot around. So it's really fast. It's a faster show, and there's lots and lots of stuff, and we just do the real, highlights. And I think it's funnier than the first one.
Way funnier.
It is, and it's just, we had to up it. We had to get him even more out of his comfort zone because he was starting getting used to it.
Right, we'll talk some more in a second. Tiny Temper, that is Wonder Man.
BBC Radio 1.
Featuring Ellie Goulding, of course. So, Ricky and Karl, you heard the song just then?
I particularly like the lyric, he's in with the idiot.
He's great.
We can't escape that.
I know,
because that's the whole thing about Idiot Abroad. I mean, it wasn't originally called that.
No, it was
one of my favourite things.
Karl Pilkington, Seven Wonders, and I was in a meeting with Sky, and I came up with a much better title, An Idiot Abroad. I thought it sold the whole idea. It's sort of quite challenging, and I told Karl, he was in Peru at the time, and he wasn't happy. Then he thought the second one was called Karl Pilkington's Bucket List. But we decided.
Sky were going, oh, it's a brand.
Yeah.
Gotta stick with it.
Yes, let's stick with
it. How did you fall
yeah.
for it a second time?
Well, what can I do? It's a job, innit? And,
Karl, what do you say to those people that think you're a fake character and really you're a comic genius and this is all act?
I'd stop talking to them now. It does me head in.
I mean, it's even real journalists think that you might be an act. I mean,
but what I don't get with that is, and you'll know on Radio 1, Lady Gaga. She's walking around in a dress made of meat, wasn't she?
Yep.
Yet they're calling me an idiot. That's what annoys me. I haven't done anything wrong. I haven't. there's nothing that I'd see and I go, oh, I wish I didn't say that or react like that. I think most people would react.
Karl's not an idiot.
I'm not an idiot. I didn't do well at school.
No, it's more to do with the fact that he's got that what you call Little Englander syndrome, where he packs sliced white bread and tea bags when he goes abroad. So that was the sort of gag. Also that he sort of made his mind up about the world when he was about 14 or 15. So I was we're trying to get that out of him. But Karl's not an idiot. Karl's one of the smartest, sharpest people I know, genuinely, and he's got things worth a lot more than just bland facts and knowledge.
Karl, I've been listening to, well, you three, when you got Steve and you were doing the show years and years ago when we first started, I was listening to it and I was hooked on it and had been through the podcast and everything, but actually some of the stuff you used to say was quite profound in a weird way.
Because he's got no filter, he hasn't got a pretentious bone in his body, and he says exactly what he thinks, and that's what's fascinating. And he changes his mind, and I think he's really self-educated. I think he's educated himself, I mean, Shakespeare made up words, and Karl's made up a few, haven't you?
Yeah, I mean, he did. That's all he did, isn't it?
You made up, foodage.
Foodage.
Grippage. Mainly putting A-G-E on the end of stuff. But yeah.
Making up words is easy. It's remembering other people's words, isn't it? That's hard.
Yeah. What advice would you give to kids at school now? What would you say?
I don't know anymore. I mean, like I say, I feel a bit out of me depth here today in Radio 1. It's,
he said he was glad he was bald today because he saw a few haircuts that looked weird.
Honestly, it's like being in Total Recall. Do you know, like how that was the future? And suddenly, it's like, I swear, Radio 1, you come in, you go downstairs, and it's like you enter a different world in here. You go into the basement, and there's all these people coming out of the dark alleys and stuff, mad haircuts, jeans round their ankles. Don't bother putting pants on. If you're not going to pull them up, don't wear them, because they're not doing the job. If you've got to bend down to get your keys out of your pocket, what is the point? It's just different. Honestly, I felt this morning when I got up, girlfriend said, "You're 39 today, how are you feeling?" It's just the same. coming in
She
here.
gives him all the information every day.
Yeah.
Honestly.
She says, today's Friday.
And you're
Where am I?
39.
You're Karl Pilkington.
Thank
you.
I feel well old today now.
Yeah.
You've always been old, though, Karl.
No, and I have, and I've been happy with it. My mum said I was an old baby. She did, because it wasn't
like one of your scientific theories.
No, she said I never sort of laughed or anything as a baby. I had a frown on my face, and I looked old. I looked like a testicle. I don't know if that's allowed, but that is scientific.
It's a medical term.
Right, so just a wrinkly...
Chill out. I hate this thing about, complain. What if they do complain?
Listen,
there's
we're not allowed,
worse things happening out of the window.
But the thing is, I just worried a lot. So I've got a wrinkly head. I mean, look, if I sort of do that, I'm not that worried at the moment, but look at the wrinkle on it, and that's... I've always looked old.
You look like an old testicle.
So that's all right as well.
It's fine.
What was the 25-year-old Karl like then? What did you do? What was your
25?
thing? What music were you into? What?
A slightly hairier testicle.
Hang on a minute, let me
if you
just
can
think.
say a word, use it.
Hang on a minute, let's...
He nearly laughed then.
25.
Have we got that on webcam?
25 years old. I can't remember.
No.
Is that what you are now, 25? I can't remember.
Once, right, we were talking about what's the oldest memory, and I was saying, I can remember my 4th birthday. And Carl's going, no. He says, I can't remember maybe 6 or 7. And I went, no, you can remember back to, like, 4. He went, my mum and dad don't even remember me back then. What does that mean?
Because you haven't done anything at that age. You're just this thing that's there.
Yeah. Oh, here comes Karl. Who's Karl? He's our new baby testicle.
Well, it's been a pleasure having you both on, as ever.
Karl,
nice to see you again, Ricky.
What do you say to those people that you're not a fake character? You are, in fact, a true idiot.
I think we should just go with the fact that some people have said that I'm an actor called Graham. So it might be easy just to go with that.
Yeah.
If you just say thanks for coming in, Graham.
Yeah.
And call it a day, because I'm sick of having the argument. It does me head in.
Well, Graham's new show is on Sky 1 tonight at 9.
9 o'clock.
And I've seen the first episode, and it is brilliant.
Thanks a lot.
I just want to say, if people watch it tonight, the one thing that you'll love, I think, most is land diving. Land diving.
Oh, there's a bit where Karl's genuinely happy for a few seconds.
Yeah.
And again, it's alien to me. He's so happy and proud of himself. It warms the cockles of my heart, and you can say cockles.
Thank you both for coming in. It's a pleasure. And good luck with the
Cheers.
next series. And Ricky, I'll see you very